Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations. A mantle passed from warrior to warrior.
Black Panther 3 is officially happening. After over 2 years of silence since Black Panther Wakanda Forever hit theaters in November 2022, Marvel Studios has finally confirmed the sequel. Interestingly, the news came after longtime Marvel exec Nate Moore left the studio in December. He's still involved with the project though, but now in an external capacity. Rumors are buzzing that T'Challa, aka Black Panther, might be recast in this upcoming Marvel installment. If true, the new actor will have some big shoes to fill since Chadwick Boseman brought the character to life so memorably. According to industry insider Jeff Snyder, Marvel might be eyeing a fresh face for T'Challa and it could tie into the multiverse. He said that another actor was apparently offered the role of T'Challa last fall, not long after Robert Downey Jr.'s big Comic-Con reveal. However, they turned it down, feeling that stepping into Chadwick Boseman's shoes could potentially derail their career momentum. It seems even Hollywood's most talented black actors recognize the enormous challenge of taking on this iconic role. Whoever does eventually get cast as T'Challa will certainly have a huge task ahead. That said, it's still unclear when exactly the new actor will debut as the Wakandan superhero. Snyder added that while it's uncertain if T'Challa will show up in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, it's a pretty safe bet that whoever takes on the role will reprise it in Black Panther 3. Names like Ryan Coogler and even Denzel Washington have reportedly been part of these discussions. Speaking of him, I've got the perfect deep-cut Marvel role for Denzel Washington in Black Panther 3. The Hollywood icon confirmed on The Today Show back in November 2024 that he'll be in the movie, and apparently, director Ryan Coogler is even writing a part specifically for him. Denzel is an incredible actor with nearly 5 decades of experience, and I've absolutely loved him in Malcolm X, Fences, and The Tragedy of Macbeth. So, I'm beyond excited to see him make his MCU debut. Based on his comments, it sounds like Coogler might be creating an original character just for him, but honestly, I think he'd be amazing as one of Marvel Comics' more obscure characters. What do you think? Denzel Washington's recent comments have sparked some interesting theories. People are guessing he might play an older version of T'Challa, bringing the main Black Panther back into the MCU, or even an ancestor of Chadwick Boseman's character. This could open the door to exploring Wakanda's history more deeply, maybe even having Denzel as Bashenga, the nation's founder. While that would be awesome to see in Black Panther 3, I actually think he'd be a perfect fit for a lesser-known character, Changamire. So who is Changamire? Denzel would be a spot-on pick to play Changamire in the MCU. Changamire is a lesser-known Wakandan philosopher who first showed up in Black Panther Volume 6, Number 2 back in 2016. He was chosen to teach the royal court during King T'Chaka's rule and even mentored Queen Ramonda. However, his pacifist and anti-monarchy views got him exiled from the Golden City. Despite that, he kept spreading his teachings in Bernin Azaria, a nearby Wakandan city. Changamire, created by Ta-Nehisi Coates and Brian Stelfreeze in 2016, was woven into Wakanda's history as a trusted mentor to the royal family. His teachings heavily influenced Tetu, who formed a revolutionary group called the People. This group would be an awesome addition to Black Panther 3, and Denzel could bring the perfect mix of gravitas and warmth to the role of Changamire. In the comics, Tetu led the people in an attempt to overthrow King T'Challa by storming the Golden City. Even though both Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa have passed, this storyline could easily be adapted for the MCU. Changamire's role was pivotal. He warned Ramonda and T'Challa, denounced Tetu's violent rebellion, and gave a powerful speech that undermined the people's momentum. As a pacifist, Changamire is calm, thoughtful, and deeply conflicted about how his philosophy contributed to the uprising. Denzel could absolutely nail this nuanced character, making Changamire significant in the MCU. Marvel has a history of elevating smaller comic book characters, and Denzel's presence would ensure Changamire gets the spotlight he deserves in Black Panther 3. One of the big themes in Black Panther Wakanda Forever revolved around world politics and Wakanda's role on the global stage. Changamire's accidental role in sparking a rebellion against the monarchy would fit perfectly into this ongoing storyline. Personally, I think Winston Duke's M'Baku would make an excellent King of Wakanda, but it's easy to imagine others in the nation disagreeing. Changamire's teachings could inspire a revolution against King M'Baku, with Shuri's Black Panther stuck in the middle, setting up an epic, globe-spanning plot for Black Panther 3. On top of that, expanding Wakanda's history would be incredible, and introducing an older Changamire as a former ally and mentor to T'Chaka and Ramonda would be a fantastic way to do it. With Shuri now the last surviving member of Wakanda's royal family, she could really use some fresh allies. I could totally see her reconnecting with figures tied to her family's past, creating the perfect opportunity to bring Changamire into the MCU as a mentor to Shuri, staying true to his comic book origins. Up next, let's talk about Will Smith's superhero dream and why it's a perfect fit for Black Panther 3. Will Smith has been vocal about wanting to play a black superhero. In a GQ interview over 3 years ago, while promoting Emancipation, a historical action thriller he did with Apple TV+ about the real-life story of Whipped Peter, Smith shared his thoughts on the kinds of roles he's drawn to. He mentioned that calling Emancipation a slavery movie didn't feel right to him. Instead, he's always aimed to avoid typical slavery narratives and focus on roles that highlight black excellence, like being a superhero. His full quote is as follows: "I've always avoided making films about slavery. In the early part of my career, I didn't want to show black people in that light. I wanted to be a superhero. So I wanted to depict black excellence alongside my white counterparts. I wanted to play roles that you would give to Tom Cruise, and the first time I considered it was Django, but I didn't want to make a slavery film about vengeance." Let's not forget, Will Smith has already dabbled in superhero movies. First, there was 2008's Hancock, where he played an alcoholic amnesiac with superpowers, trying to piece together his mysterious past. Then came 2016's Suicide Squad, where he took on the role of Deadshot, a deadly assassin and master marksman from DC's lineup. That said, I'd argue neither of these roles quite hit the mark. At best, they're anti-heroes, though if we're being technical, Deadshot leans more toward being a straight-up villain. Either way, I doubt these are what Smith had in mind when he talked about wanting to play a superhero. Now, with the door wide open for Smith to step into the MCU, I've got the perfect Marvel character for Will Smith to play in Black Panther 3, Bashenga. He's the OG Black Panther, introduced briefly in the opening scenes of the first movie. Bashenga was the first Wakandan to take the heart-shaped herb and become Black Panther after receiving a vision from Bast. While the movie focuses on the modern Black Panthers and Wakanda's legacy, Bashenga's story deserves more attention. I'm not saying Black Panther 3 should jump all the way back to Wakanda's early days. Instead, the movie could explore Bashenga's legacy through flashbacks or even the ancestral plane, where we've already seen departed Wakandans interact with living Black Panthers. His story is crucial to the franchise, and the role of the original Black Panther would be a perfect fit for Will Smith's dream of portraying a black superhero who embodies black excellence. So could Will Smith actually be cast in Black Panther 3? It's definitely possible. The fact that Black Panther 3 has already landed Hollywood royalty like Denzel Washington shows that Marvel isn't holding back for this movie. Adding Will Smith to the cast would make it even more star-studded, helping to make it one of the MCU's biggest upcoming releases. Of course, whether Marvel Studios is willing to pay for 2 major stars is another question. Still, considering Will Smith's desire to play a hero who embodies black excellence, Black Panther 3 could be the perfect fit for him. While there's no official word on who will join Denzel Washington in the movie, Will Smith's involvement is still just speculation. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. We'll see you next time.